Pottery is one of the oldest forms of human art and craft, dating back thousands of years. It all began when early humans realized they could shape soft, natural clay into containers and objects that could be hardened by fire. In ancient times, people didn't have metal or plastic. They needed a way to store food, water, and other items, so they discovered that clay, when mixed with water, became soft and moldable. They could shape it into pots, bowls, and even sculptures. After shaping the clay, they let it dry and then heated it in fire, making it hard and durable. Some of the earliest pottery pieces were found in East Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. These early pots were simple in design, often round and made by hand. Over time, as societies developed, pottery techniques improved. People learned to make their pots stronger, smoother, and more beautiful. Pottery wasn't just functional. It also became a way to express creativity, with decorations, colors, and symbols added to the pots. Even today, many cultures keep these ancient pottery traditions alive. Each region developed its own style, using different types of clay, tools, and designs, which is why we see so many unique pottery styles around the world. From ancient Greece's black and red pottery to China's porcelain, pottery holds a special place in human history. The process of making pottery begins with finding the right type of clay. Clay is a natural material found in the earth. It is soft and sticky when wet, making it easy to shape. There are different types of clay, each with its own properties. Some clays are smoother and finer, while others have more grit and texture. The choice of clay depends on the kind of pottery being made. For example, porcelain clay is very fine and used for delicate work, while stoneware clay is tougher and used for more durable items. Once the clay is prepared, it is shaped into a desired form. There are several ways to shape pottery. The oldest method is hand building, where the artist uses only their hands and simple tools. They roll the clay into coils or slabs and then build up the walls of the pot piece by piece. Another common method is using a potter's wheel. The potter places a lump of clay on a spinning wheel and shapes it with their hands as it spins. This allows for smooth, symmetrical designs. After shaping, the pottery must be dried. If the clay is too wet, it can collapse or crack. It's important to dry the piece slowly in the air before firing it. Once dry, the pottery is placed in a kiln, a special oven that can reach very high temperatures. The heat causes the clay to harden and become strong. The firing process also prepares the pottery for decoration. Many potters will paint or glaze their work after the first firing. Glazing involves coating the surface with a liquid mixture that becomes smooth and glass-like after the second firing. This not only makes the pottery beautiful but also makes it waterproof and more durable. Pottery is found in nearly every culture around the world, and each region has developed its own unique style. In ancient Greece, for example, pottery was often decorated with scenes of mythology, battles, and daily life. The Greeks used a technique called black figure and red figure painting, where they painted figures in one color and the background in another. These pots were often used in religious ceremonies or for storing wine and olive oil. In China, pottery reached new heights with the development of porcelain. Porcelain is a type of pottery made from a special clay called kaolin. It is fired at very high temperatures, which makes it thin, translucent, and very strong. Chinese artisans perfected the art of porcelain making, creating beautiful vases, plates, and tea sets decorated with intricate blue and white designs. Porcelain became so valuable that it was exported to Europe, where it was known as China. In Japan, the tradition of pottery is deeply linked to Zen Buddhism. Japanese pottery, especially tea bowls used in the traditional tea ceremony, is often simple and understated. Instead of bright colors and complex designs, Japanese potters focus on the natural beauty of the clay and glaze. Imperfections in the pottery, like cracks or uneven surfaces, are seen as part of its beauty, representing the Japanese aesthetic of wabi-sabi, which celebrates imperfection. African pottery, on the other hand, is known for its bold, geometric patterns and bright colors. Pottery in Africa is often hand-built rather than made on a wheel, and it is used for both everyday items and ceremonial purposes. The pottery reflects the culture's connection to nature, with designs inspired by animals, plants, and the environment. Today, pottery is still a vibrant art form, but it has also evolved with the times. While traditional methods are still used, modern technology has introduced new tools and techniques. Electric kilns, for example, allow potters to control the firing temperature more precisely, leading to more consistent results. There are also new types of clays and glazes that give potters more creative options. In the modern world, pottery is not just a craft but also fine art. Many contemporary artists use pottery as a way to express their ideas, creating abstract sculptures or experimenting with unusual shapes and textures. These artists push the boundaries of what pottery can be, making pieces that are not only functional but also thought-provoking. In addition, pottery has found a place in interior design. Handmade pottery is often used to create unique home decor items like lamps, vases, and dinnerware. People appreciate the personal touch and craftsmanship that goes into handmade pottery, which is why it is often chosen over mass-produced items. Social media and online marketplaces have also transformed the pottery industry. Potters can now sell their work to a global audience, sharing their creations with people from all over the world. This has made it easier for independent potters to make a living from their craft and has connected pottery lovers with unique, handmade pieces. Pottery is not just about making beautiful objects, it has a deeper meaning and purpose in our lives. Pottery connects us to our history, reminding us of the long tradition of handmade crafts that have been passed down through generations. It shows us that even in today's fast-paced, technology-driven world, there is still value in slowing down and creating something with our hands. Pottery also teaches patience and mindfulness. The process of shaping clay, waiting for it to dry, and carefully firing it in the kiln requires time and attention. Potters often speak about how working with clay helps them relax and focus. It is a form of meditation that brings calm and satisfaction. Additionally, pottery promotes sustainability. Unlike plastic, which can harm the environment, pottery is made from natural materials and is biodegradable. It can last for generations, but if broken, it returns to the earth without causing pollution. Many people are turning to handmade pottery as a more eco-friendly option for their homes. Finally, pottery brings people together. Whether it's through a local pottery class, a community kiln, or a shared appreciation for handmade goods, pottery creates a sense of connection. It is a craft that can be enjoyed by anyone, regardless of age, background, or skill level. Whether you're making it or simply admiring it, pottery has the power to inspire and unite people across the world. Pottery may seem simple at first glance, but it is deeply connected to science, especially chemistry and physics. The process of turning soft clay into a strong, solid object involves several complex changes at the molecular level. When potters work with clay, they are handling tiny mineral particles that come from the earth. Clay contains minerals like kaolinite, quartz, and feldspar, which give it its plasticity, the ability to be shaped, when mixed with water. As the clay dries, the water evaporates, and the particles come closer together. At this stage, the clay is called greenware, and it is still very fragile. If it is not dried carefully, it can crack or warp. This is why potters need to ensure that the drying process is slow and even. The real transformation happens when the pottery is fired in a kiln. The heat causes the clay to undergo a chemical change called vitrification. Vitrification is when the minerals in the clay melt and form a glass-like structure, which makes the pottery hard and durable. Depending on the type of clay and the temperature in the kiln, the degree of vitrification can vary, which is why some pottery is more porous and others are completely waterproof. Glazing also involves science. A glaze is a mixture of minerals that, when heated, form a glassy coating on the surface of the pottery. Different minerals produce different colors. For example, adding iron oxide to a glaze can create shades of red, brown, or yellow, while copper oxide creates green or blue. By understanding the chemistry behind the materials, potters can experiment with different colors, textures, and finishes to achieve unique results. Potters use a variety of tools to shape, decorate, and finish their work. While the basics of pottery can be done by hand, specialized tools help potters achieve more precise results. Here are some of the key tools used in pottery making. 1. Potter's wheel *. The potter's wheel is one of the most iconic tools in pottery. It allows the potter to shape clay quickly and symmetrically by spinning it on a flat, rotating surface. With the help of the wheel, potters can create perfectly round pots, bowls, and vases. The wheel has been used for thousands of years, evolving from a simple manual device to today's electric models. 2. Kiln asterisk. The kiln is an essential piece of equipment for firing pottery. There are different types of kilns, including electric, gas, and wood-fired. Each type produces different results based on how the heat is distributed and how high the temperature can go. Kilns are designed to reach extremely high temperatures, typically between 1000 degrees Celsius and 1300 degrees Celsius, 1832 degrees Fahrenheit to 2372 degrees Fahrenheit, allowing the clay to vitrify and harden. 3. Ribs and scrapers asterisk. These flat, flexible tools are used to smooth and shape the surface of the clay. Ribs are often made of wood, metal, or plastic, and come in different shapes for different effects. They help remove excess clay and refine the form of the pottery, making the surface smoother and more even. 4. Needle tools and carving tools asterisk. Fine details can be added to pottery using tools like needles, loop tools, and carving knives. These are used to create patterns, textures, or cut shapes into the clay. Many potters use carving tools to add decorative elements or inscribe designs onto the surface of their work. 5. Brushes and sponges asterisk. For applying glazes or adding surface texture, brushes and sponges are indispensable. Potters use brushes to paint glaze onto their work, while sponges help smooth or clean the surface before firing. Sponges are also used to control the moisture in the clay, preventing it from drying out too quickly while working. Throughout history, pottery has been closely tied to the cultures that create it. Each society develops its own pottery traditions, often reflecting its values, beliefs, and environment. Pottery can serve as a symbol of cultural identity, with each piece telling a story about the people who made it. In many indigenous cultures, pottery plays an important role in rituals and ceremonies. For example, Native American pottery is not only functional but also deeply spiritual. In the Pueblo tribes of the American Southwest, pottery is often decorated with symbols representing rain, animals, and other natural elements that are central to their beliefs. The process of making the pottery itself is considered sacred, with special prayers and rituals performed during each step. Similarly, in the Andes of South America, the ancient Inca civilization used pottery to tell stories of their gods, kings, and warriors. Their pottery was often shaped into animals or human figures, with vibrant colors and intricate designs. These pots were used in religious ceremonies and were sometimes placed in tombs to accompany the dead into the afterlife. In Japan, the art of pottery is deeply intertwined with the tea ceremony, an important cultural tradition. The simple, rustic style of Japanese tea bowls, known as chawan, reflects the Zen Buddhist philosophy of simplicity and mindfulness. These bowls are often asymmetrical and imperfect, embodying the idea of wabi-sabi, the beauty of imperfection. In modern times, pottery continues to play a role in expressing cultural identity. Contemporary potters often draw inspiration from traditional techniques while adding their own modern twist, creating pieces that honor their heritage while also pushing the boundaries of the art form. Pottery is not just an art form, it is also a therapeutic practice that can help people heal emotionally and physically. The act of working with clay is soothing and meditative, providing a way to release stress and connect with the present moment. Many people find that pottery allows them to express their emotions in a creative, non-verbal way, which can be especially helpful for those who struggle to communicate their feelings. In recent years, pottery has been used in art therapy programs for people dealing with anxiety, depression, trauma, and other mental health issues. The tactile nature of clay helps individuals focus on the here and now, redirecting their thoughts away from negative feelings. The process of shaping and molding the clay also provides a sense of accomplishment and control, which can be empowering for those who feel overwhelmed by their circumstances. Physically, pottery can be beneficial for improving hand-eye coordination, motor skills, and muscle strength. People recovering from injuries or surgeries often use pottery as a form of rehabilitation, as the repetitive movements of shaping and smoothing the clay can help build strength and flexibility. Pottery also fosters a sense of community. Group pottery classes and workshops provide a space for people to connect, share ideas, and support each other. Whether it's through a shared kiln, a communal studio, or an online pottery community, the craft brings people together, helping them feel less isolated and more connected to others. As we move further into the 21st century, pottery continues to evolve. While traditional pottery methods remain popular, new technologies are pushing the craft in exciting new directions. One of the biggest innovations in recent years is 3D printed pottery. With 3D printing technology, potters can create complex, intricate designs that would be difficult or impossible to achieve by hand. This opens up new possibilities for artists to experiment with forms and patterns, while still using traditional firing and glazing techniques to finish their work. Sustainability is another key trend in modern pottery. Many potters are focusing on eco-friendly practices, using locally sourced clay, natural glazes, and energy-efficient kilns. Some are even recycling old pottery pieces by grinding them into powder and adding them back into new clay, reducing waste and conserving resources. There is also a growing movement to bring pottery into the digital age. Social media platforms like Instagram and Pinterest have become popular spaces for potters to share their work, connect with others, and build their brands. Online pottery classes and virtual workshops make it easier for people to learn pottery from the comfort of their homes, expanding the reach of the craft. Despite these new trends and technologies, pottery remains rooted in its ancient traditions. It is a timeless craft that combines creativity, skill, and a deep connection to the earth. As long as people continue to seek beauty, function, and meaning in the objects they create, pottery will remain an essential part of human culture.